who do I rank 3 as a 6-star? This is a really, really common question, and with the advent of Thronebreaker and the caveat that you have to have a rank 3 6-star, it's a very important question in Marvel Contest of Champions. So, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down who you should be ranking over who is the best option, who would you rank for Thronebreaker, and at what signature level do some champions need to be before they're worth rank 3. So, to start, I have Mutant Class, and Mutant Class is universally considered one of the, if not the best, class as 6 stars. So, my first choice would be Apocalypse. Oh, actually, well, first I should go over the legend. So, the star just means awakened, no matter what, doesn't matter what sig, it could be 1, it could be 200. High sig means, generally what I mean by high sig is around 100 or above, and you want to keep throwing sigs into them, but the difference between high sig and max sig is that they don't need to be 200, like Captain America Infinity War. Anyway, so high sig is that little star, max sig is the asterisk with the circle, synergy is the yin yang, and mystic dispersion is the M with the circle. The slightly grayed out boxes are what I would only rank for Thronebreaker, unless you really like the champion. If you really like the champion, rank whoever you want. But I would only rank these in gray for Thronebreaker. So, moving on. Mutant Class, I would first take Apocalypse. Doesn't matter if he's awakened in my mind, I'd rank 3 him in an instant. Second is Magneto, does not matter if he's awakened, and for both of these champions, I would not ever throw any sort of gem into them. I guess Apocalypse would take a class gem if you love Prestige, but both of them, I would just say, don't waste an awakening gem on them, it's not worth it, rank 3 them unawakened. Omega Red is number 3, you have to be running Suicides. If you're not running Suicides, I would put Omega Red probably around Professor X, maybe above Namor. But you need to be running Suicides, and ideally you want them to be high sig, just over 100, but ideally you want them like 180, 200. But Omega Red is a really good option if you run Suicides. Colossus, as long as he's awakened. I know MSD took him up unawakened. Unawakened, I would put him probably, unawakened, I would put him maybe above Domino or under Domino. So it's still an option, but you really want him awakened. Strife, you need the Apocalypse synergy, not the Horseman ability, the synergy. And what you need with that is you need the ability to be unblockable when at 20 charges, and that gives them a lot of utility. But he's a really, really good option. I just started using mine, and I realized that Awakening is very important as well. So, ideally, you want to use that, just have him awakened for that 30% chance to... he transfers over 30% of the charges. Unawakened with the APOC synergy, he'd still be a fine rank 3. But the Awaken ability would just make him a little quicker and easier to use. For Archangel at rank 3, he has to be SIG 112 or it's not worth it. If he's SIG 112 and you really like your Archangel, sure, rank 3 him. Really, really good option as well. Havoc, unawakened or awakened. I have an unawakened Havoc and I'm considering rank 3ing him. I might do Strife for him. I'm not sure because, for one, Strife is ramp up. So even beyond the fact that I think Strife is better, but he needs the APOC synergy, I've already done Abyss, so I don't need Strife. But I mean, I'm not sure. Havoc is a decent option, and I've considered it for a long time. Namor has to be max Sig. I mean, if he's at like Sig 100 and he loves Prestige, like go ahead and do it. But if he's not max Sig and you don't like Prestige, like don't rank him up to rank 3. Professor X is really good. He takes a lot of high skill. And secondly, similar to Magneto, similar to Nick Fury to an extent, he does so much damage. Oh, and Cosmic Ghost Rider. He does so much damage on his special attacks. When he's ramped, he takes a little bit to ramp, but once he's ramped, he just pounds them to the ground. And so one might wonder if he's worth rank 3 at all because he might not need the damage. But I would say it's as much for utility as it is damage. And more importantly, it shortens his ramp up if you don't need to ramp as highly because you have higher damage. Domino, I would rank for Thronebreaker. At this point, I feel like unless you don't like completing high content and you just like doing your Cav event quests each month and your Domino Trinity, just spamming everything down, rank 3er. Totally. But if you want high content, I wouldn't rank 3er unless for defense. And as Thronebreaker, you can totally rank 3er. And you'll probably have a lot of fun with her. Moving on to skill class, Nick Fury is the number 1. To be honest, even unawakened, I would still take Nick Fury over Aegon. And maybe over Kingpin. I would take him to rank 3 over Aegon. And over all the gray ones, but not over Kingpin. The only reason Aegon's actually above Kingpin is because of the max sig caveat. Okay, so Nick Fury, Awakened ability, and he's easily the number one. He's also one of the only ones worth a generic Awakening gem. I'll be going over that in a later video, so stay tuned. Second option is Mole Man. Not only does Mole Man have this damage utility trade-off, that rank 3 will kind of give him that extra damage. Beyond that, a lot of his playstyle involves getting hit on the block and then hitting into them, and that extra health pool is going to be so useful. So Mole Man would be a great one. Hit Monkey is like Corvus, except he hits not as hard and he has less utility, but he has bleeds. I really like Hit Monkey. I would rank 3 Hit Monkey. He's a really good champion. He has a lot of utility. And worst comes to worst, even if you don't like him, he is a pain on defense. So Hit Monkey is a great rank 3. Fourth is Falcon. If you play Tier 1 Alliance War, I would probably say he goes up to either... him and Mole Man are probably the two best if you play like Alliance War, Protect. But I actually think he needs his Awakened ability to be really good, because that crit is just so helpful. Stealth Spidey hits really hard. This will give him a little bit more health, which is really nice. But Stealth Spidey hits really hard, and I feel like he's so underrated. He's a great champion. Aegon, at Sig. It says max Sig, and ideally you want to be max Sig. If he's not Sig like 180 or something, and you have a 5-star one, do not rank 3 him. This isn't a dig on someone like Prof. Hoff or someone else who really loves their Aegon, but Aegon is just, once you have your Abyss done, there's no reason you should be taking up your Aegon. In my mind, if you don't have at least, I would say if you don't have at least 3 paths left, maybe even 4 paths left, don't rank up your Aegon for Abyss even. If you're going to rank up Aegon and be like, take one path with him, it's not worth it, because you're not going to use him again. And people say, oh, in the future, there's going to be a new thing, and it's going to be great to have him at rank 3. In the future, it's going to be really easy to rank 3 6-stars. So I would stick with your 5-star Aegon unless your 6-star Aegon is like Sig 180 or something. And the only way he's getting there is if you Sig him up, which in my mind is not worth it anyway. So unless you have 100 skill Sig stones waiting around for him, I would not do it. And I would leave him there. Kingpin with that Hood synergy, as mentioned previously, he shrugs all debuffs. I would rank 3 him. He's a really good champion. It's hard. He's good on defense. Really well-rounded. Killmonger, when awakened, the awakened ability is mostly for damage. You doing damage. And it also makes him a pan on defense, but that's not what we're talking about here. Killmonger hits hard. He's fun. Really good animations. Black Widow, Deadly Origin. Haven't really played around with her much. Just got her as a 4-star today. She seems to be a really good champion, and she seems kind of like Massacre, who is my next option. And Massacre is really good. His Special 2 is good. I would still not even do Special 2 because a lot of champions can hit really hard. What makes him special is that he can do a lot of damage via Incinerate. And he can also refresh that Incinerate. So I would say he's most comparable to Storm with the Apocalypse Energy. He's very good. I almost want to say in a general questing situation, you always want to bring along Red Hulk because it gives him Incinerate on block, which is just way better. When you block, they get incinerated. But anyway, Massacre is an option for rank 3 if you need to get your Thronebreaker. So number 1 in the science class has got to be Immortal Abomination. And the reason why is because, for one, at rank 3, you can even easier utilize his weakness when blocking special attacks and whatnot. Really powerful. He just hits really hard. And, I mean, that's all you need to know. Immortal Abomination is a great champion. Second is Human Torch. And the only reason Human Torch is on here, he's kind of similar to Magneto and all the other ones. His damage is so obscene in the right scenario that rank 3 and rank 2 don't matter. Only one thing matters, and this is going to be a theme in this video. His health pool. What is nice is that you can tank blocks, you can take hits on the block and all that stuff, and you can live to tell about it. That's what is why he's at rank 3. Not because he needs damage, because anybody who's used Human Torch against a Mystic or against Prof X or something else knows Human Torch does not need damage. Alright, moving on is Captain America Infinity War. You want him to be max Sig if you're going to rank 3 him. All these caveats are kind of ignorable if you need to get it for Thronebreaker. The only things I would not rank for Thronebreaker are Namor Unawakened, Aegon Unawakened, or Aegon Low Sig. I would do Aegon Low Sig maybe, but Namor Unawakened, and Cull Obsidian and Vision Arcus Unawakened, and Star-Lord Unawakened, and that's it. Everything else I'd rank 3 no matter what, and ignoring the stuff. Unless they're in the little gray boxes. Alright, so going back, Captain America Infinity War. I have the Synergy emblem, and this isn't dedicated, oh, give him this champion. It is, depending on the scenario, give him a different class type. So if you're going to be taking down the Emma Frost mini in AQ or something with the heavy assault, bring a Cosmic, and he's insane for it. If you're going to be heal reversing, bring a Tech, and if you have Despair, bring a Cosmic and a Science, right? So he's really versatile, and you need him around 180, but I mean, he needs to be Sig 200 because Kabam and their percentages don't work. Thing needs to be max Sig if you want to rank him this highly. A lot of these caveats are just how highly I would rank them. If Thing is max Sig at rank 3, great defender, great offender, he's going to hit really hard. Void when awakened, but I mean, ideally high Sig. I'm not a big fan of Void, but Void is a good champion, and once again, one of the reasons I don't like Void is his damage, and at rank 3 he's going to get the damage, and that's really good. Red Hulk at Sig 34 will ignore Mephisto, so ideally you want him to be Sig 34. If you're going to be rank 3ing a champion, I don't think it's a big ask to ask that they're only Sig 34. So Red Hulk at Sig 34, hits really hard, great for Path 9, Shifting Hazard Mini, and he just hits really hard. Red Guardian, he, for one, buffs up Abomination really, really well, so that's a plus. At Sig 200, you can actually parry, which is really nice. He's a good champion as well. Spider-Ham, I don't even know if he needs the damage. I would just assume from his size that he probably has low block proficiency and health, so maybe that'll help, but he just hits really hard, and beyond that, he's a really fun champion, and he has a lot of damage, so it'll improve that. Immortal Hulk, ideally you want him awakened. I mean, I guess unawakened would be fine. And Wasp. They're both kind of glass cannons. Immortal Hulk because he's always killing himself. So they're both decent, but I'd only do for Thronebreaker. Mystic, you have Doctor Doom. Rank 3 Doctor Doom is such a big deal because it allows you to cycle a little bit easier with his special 3 rotation. Black Widow Clairvoyant is really good, but you need Mystic Dispersion. A lot of people say she doesn't really need anything, or maybe she needs the Suicides. I don't believe that. I think she needs Mystic Dispersion, because what you can do is you can cycle your immunities and get power gain that way, and then you can nullify buffs with those charges and get power gain, and it's just a cycle of getting over and over lots of power gain and spamming specials, and that makes her such a good champion, but I think she really, really benefits from Mystic Dispersion. Tigra at rank 3, she can tank more hits. She's going to hit even harder, and in the right scenario, Tigra hits really hard. And if I got a 6-star Tiger, I would very highly consider taking her to rank 3. Sorcerer Supreme at Sig 17. I would rank her unawakened. Probably still where she's at. Maybe under Dragon Man if you really like Alliance War. But at Sig 17, she counters Domino. At Sig 200, she counters her when she's unlucky. But at Sig 17, she counters Domino, which is just a really big benefit. I would rank Sorcerer Supreme in an instant. Dragon Man doesn't need that awakened ability. He's a really good champion, especially in Alliance War. Morningstar, the reason I say she needs that star is because it saves her a fight, and it's just not worth it to ramp her otherwise unless you're in incursions. But Morningstar is a good champion, especially if you like incursions or if you are using her to like kill APOC bosses or something. She's worth it. Symbiote Supreme with Mystic Dispersion. Mojo with a reasonable Sig and Mystic Dispersion, Longshot and Sasquatch with a high, high Sig. Sasquatch, it gives him even more sustainability, and Lord knows he doesn't need it. I mean, they're all good champions. The reason why I don't have Symbiote Supreme up on the, if you're not Thronebreaker, I mean, if you are Thronebreaker already, is because I feel like he doesn't need the damage. He just hits so hard. If the matchup's good, he's good for it, and you don't need him at rank 3 for that. So in the Cosmic class, and this is what I've alluded to earlier, I would rank Corvus Glaive when he's awakened, Captain Marvel movie when she's awakened and when you have Nick Fury and you like using him, over Cosmic Ghost Rider. I think Cosmic Ghost Rider is better than both of those champions. So why would I rank them over Cosmic Ghost Rider? Because Corvus Glaive, Captain Marvel movie, along with Omega Red, if I'm not forgetting anybody, I apologize, but those are 3 of the most bursty champions in terms of right out of the gate, you hit them insanely hard, and their utility, for the most part, is really high damage. I mean, that's not necessarily true for Corvus Glaive, but one of his big utilities is really high damage, and just kill them before they kill you. And so those 3 champions, that extra damage is going to help them immensely. Cosmic Ghost Rider, if you've ever used him, does not need the damage at all. The only reason I ranked him is because my Captain Marvel movie is not awakened. I also have another tier 5 class Catalyst, so if she gets awakened, I'm ranking her too. But I would rank Cosmic Ghost Rider under those 2 for rank 3 because he does not need the damage. So Corvus Glaive awakened, Captain Marvel movie with Nick Fury and awakened, Cosmic Ghost Rider. Angela at Sig 182 is so good, and I would rank her over Venom. Venom, when awakened, Obsidian when high sig, but I mean, I guess Awakened would be fine. Terax when Awakened, Vision Arcus when high sig, because you want to be able to shrug off the Tenacity. Use Tenacity to shrug something off. Thor when Awakened for his armor break. Carnage when Awakened for his power gain. So Terax and Vision Arcus, if you like them, are borderline rank worthy anyway. Moving on to tech. Ghost, I put Sig 80. This is not a hard number. This is a general. A lot of these other ones, like Sorcerer Supreme at 17, Red Hulk at 34, Archangel at 112, Angela, kind of. Oh, I need to go back on Angela. If you want 4 buffs, maybe at 101, maybe it's worth ranking, but not over Venom. Yeah, but these numbers are all concrete except for Ghost. I'm just guessing around Sig 80, and it's worth it. So if you get him reasonably high, or get her reasonably high, rank 3 her. I would rank 3 her anyway, but this high on the list, she needs to be around Sig 80, in my mind. Otherwise, I'd put her maybe under Guardian or under Warlock. Next is Warlock. I don't think he needs to be awakened at all, unless on defense. I think it's a waste of an awakening gem unless you love Prestige. Do not awaken him, and if you ever use a generic on him, I would be very sad. Guardian with high sig. Guillotine 2099, Hulkbuster with the awakened ability to give him a little bit more sustainability, Doc Ock for stealing all the opponent's abilities with his stealing the regen, stealing the power and whatnot, Star-Lord one awakened and ideally pretty high sig, Punisher one awakened, Mysterio one awakened, the Mysterio one's not necessarily, it's just faster, Sentinel needs to be awakened because I hate his ramp up and his awakened ability makes his ramp up faster. Now you're asking if Guardian wasn't awakened where he'd be maybe? I'd just put him under Guillotine 2099. He's still worth it. So overall, the gray means that I would only rank them for Thronebreaker unless you love them. And the other ones, this is the order in which I would rank them. And I really, really do hope you enjoy this video. I hope it helps you. I hope you can get Thronebreaker and pick some choices in your Nexus using this info. And at the very least, I hope you were entertained. And if you disagree with me, comment in the comments. There's no wrong answer. No champion is objectively better than the other on this list. I mean, I'd be willing to say APOC is objectively better than Deadpool X-Force. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But feel free to go in the comments section. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm right. Who do you have at rank 3 already on this list or not on this list? Who do you think I forgot? And with that wraps up the video. So thank you for watching. And go rank through those 6 stars.